The skies are gray and the rain is here. We'll have complete coverage on the storm system that's setting in.
A key witness testifies in the BINION murder retrial. I'm Christine Ueno. That's coming up.
Plus, does being attractive increase a candidate's chances of getting elected? Straight ahead on Gold 33 News at 7.
Coming up, we're going to talk about the rain moving into the area. We could see some heavy downpours moving through by tomorrow. Details in just a bit.
And I'm Morris Jones. Also ahead tonight, Arnold is advocating for stem cell research. And we can import Canadian drugs, but what about the flu vaccine?
Good Tuesday night, and thanks for joining us for your only local news at 7 o'clock. I'm Rachel Smith. Well, it is cold outside and a little bit wet, a sign of things to come. Everybody's talking about the abrupt change in our weather, and it's tonight's top story. Gold 33's Erica Chow is live tonight with more on the big cool down. Erica.
Rachel, it's definitely cooling down out here. The wind has picked up and it started raining once again. But that means it's probably snowing up in Mount Charleston, and that's exactly what businesses up there want. The Las Vegas Ski and Snowboard Resort is ready for the cold. Up in Mount Charleston, they're hoping for 5 inches to half a foot of snow overnight to help jumpstart accumulation on the resort's 11 runs. To gear up for another busy season, the staff has been making annual repairs and testing hundreds of snowboards, skis, and boots. The first flurry started falling up in the mountain last month. Now, with those repairs just about complete and plenty of other improvements finished, the resort is just waiting for snow.
We got a lot of momentum coming into this year. We've put over $1.5 million into improvements this summer, and with 4 times the snowmaking water capacity that we had last year. We've got modern snowmaking equipment, new snow grooming machines, a half pipe grinder, great improvements for the beginners and entry-level people out there. They're going to really have a great time up here this year.
Now, the resort won't open until November 19th, so there should be plenty of snow up there by then. Right now, season passes are available for the resort. They are at a discounted price until the end of the month. After that, they will still be available, but the prices will go up significantly. Reporting live, I'm Erica Chow for Gold 33 News at 7.
All right, thanks, Erica. By the way, the temperature today up at the Las Vegas Ski and Snowboard Resort was in the low 40s, and tonight it should probably drop down to the low 20s. With the wind whipping things up, Clark County air quality officials have issued a dust advisory. The advisory is in effect today and tomorrow. It means airborne dust may reach unhealthy levels. People with chronic respiratory problems should try to stay indoors as much as possible, and all people are advised to limit outdoor exercise. So what's in store? More wind, and when will the real rain arrive? For the answers, we turn now to meteorologist Vetus Reed. Vetus?
Well, Rachel, we have all kinds of activity going on out there. And in fact, what's going on for this time of year? We usually have the jet stream up to the north, and that keeps us generally dry. But the jet stream's dropping down to the south, allowing a moist flow in from the Pacific, allowing the wet season to start early. So it looks like that's helping pick up the winds, and we're going to get to see that rain push in by tomorrow. A couple systems pushing through. First storm is going to be exiting as we head through the next couple of days, but another storm is going to ride down from the north, and that is going to increase the chances for some rainfall, especially along the west coast. Now, looking at the satellite radar composite, you can see spotty showers already moving through the area. We could expect to see heavy rainfall across the valley tomorrow, and then in the upper mountains, up around Mount Charleston, they're going to see maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of snow, and it looks like they're going to be getting what they want for this time of year. We're going to talk more about your forecast in detail and see what's coming our way in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Vetus. What a change. Well, a key witness took the stand today in the BINION murder retrial. Kurt Gotzer, who has known Rick Tabish for 30 years, provided conflicting testimony for both sides of the case. Tabish and Sandy Murphy are being tried for the second time for the murder of Ted BINION. Gold 33's Christine Ueno has been following the trial, and she joins us live from the courthouse with the latest. Christine.
Rachel, during his testimony, Kurt Gotzer seemed confused and unfocused, causing some commotion in the courtroom.
Hey, listen, calm down. Calm down, calm down.
Things were heating up in the courtroom as Kurt Gotzer took the stand for the prosecution. He said his friend Rick Tabish solicited him to murder a local casino owner.
and he said he wanted to kill him. But he wanted me to do it. And he started laughing. And he said he'd like to see me do it. We laughed because we thought it was kind of in a humorous, sick sort of way.
But Grotzer said he didn't know who exactly Tabish was talking about.
I knew nothing about the BINIONs then. Rick told me nothing about the BINIONs. I didn't know what BINIONs were. I didn't even know what BINION's horseshoe was.
Grotzer didn't know the answer to a lot of questions. He admitted he did not want to today and even denied some earlier testimony.
So he has changed his testimony in a significant way. And so I would respectfully suggest to the court that based upon that, we are entitled to elicit what has changed since the last time he testified.
The defense tried to discredit the witness by bringing up Grotzer's previous drug use. They also had a difficult time questioning him.
I don't want your opinion.
Just like
Did
you're
you
not
testify to that, yes or no?
Just a minute, just to answer the question.
Did you testify to that, yes or no?
I testified that he was not going to discuss anything, that he was just going to...
Are these words that I read part of your testimony at the prelim, yes or no?
Kurt Grotzer also testified that when he and Rick Tabish spoke about plans to kill Ted BINION, that they were just joking around. Live at the Clark County Courthouse, Christine Ueno for Go 33 News at 7.
And Christine, wasn't there some question about whether the BINIONs paid Grotzer for his testimony?
That's right. That happened in the first trial. The BINION estate paid Kurt Grotzer $20,000 to testify.
All right, some interesting testimony today. Thanks for covering that for us, Christine. Well, new accusations are flying tonight in the case of possible voter registration fraud. Clark County District Court Judge Valerie Adair is denying that personal and political ties influenced her ruling not to reopen voter registration. Judge Adair made her ruling on Friday, but local Democrats say she may have been influenced by her live-in relationship with a former member of the Clark County Republican Committee. Democrats wanted an emergency order to let applicants re-register. They say they haven't decided whether to appeal the judge's ruling. Well, does being good-looking really matter in the presidential race? Many of the nation's singles think so. A survey of more than 5,000 voters found that 80% believe physical attractiveness helps candidates get elected. And according to the survey, 49% of singles would want to go on a date with President Bush, 33% with Senator John Kerry, and just 15% with Ralph Nader. The FAA wants to make the North Las Vegas airport safer. Here's why. North Las Vegas was one of only 2 airports nationwide that had accidental aircraft collisions last year. But there have been 36 close calls there in just the past 5 years. The FAA is testing new runway lights at the airport. The hope is to help alert pilots to other aircrafts on the runways and taxiways. The new lights bring up the standards to that of major airports. North Las Vegas is a busy airport with more than 200,000 takeoffs and landings just last year. Criticism for a local gaming giant tops tonight's look at hotel casino news. Southern Nevada's top health official is criticizing the Mandalay Resort Group. The casino company offered flu shots to its workers at Excalibur, Luxor, and Mandalay Bay properties. Dr. Donald Kwolek says most corporations are cooperating with efforts to find enough vaccines for only the high-risk groups. Mandalay Bay says it felt fulfilling its commitment to workers didn't hurt the community. Dr. Kwolek credited the MGM Mirage for donating its 4,000 shots to high-risk groups. Construction of the first hotel condominium tower on the Las Vegas Strip is underway. The residences at MGM Grand Las Vegas is a 40-story tower containing 576 luxury condos. The tower is being built adjacent to the pool area where the old theme park used to be. The condos went on sale in January and sold out in the first 12 weeks.
As we've seen through our sales here, I mean, we think the demand's very strong. I don't think we've ever had a tower sell as quickly as we have here.
But it also provides the individual customer with the ability to own a piece of Las Vegas, to own a piece of the MGM Grand, and own a piece of history.
People who live in the residences will have access to all the resort's amenities. The tower is scheduled to be complete in mid-2006. And another Strip resort is wrapping up an expansion of its own. Workers are busy putting the finishing touches on Phase 3 expansion of Caesars Forum Shops. The resort has added 175,000 square feet to the shopping area. The expansion includes 60 new stores and restaurants, including names like Kate Spade and Juicy. Officials at the Forum Shops say they are confident the expansion will do quite well.
The Forum Shops prides itself in the fact that we fill a niche, and that niche is luxury brand tenants. We've brought some of the most world-renowned luxury brand retailers into one shopping arena.
By the way, the new expansion officially opens to the public at 10 a.m. on Friday morning. A new study ranks Nevada at the bottom when it comes to welfare reform. Coming up, find out why local welfare officials say they're not surprised by the results of this new study.
Plus, first there was Forbidden Broadway, now there's Forbidden Vegas. I'll have the details of the new show ahead in tonight's entertainment headlines.
And I'm Morris Jones. Next from News Central, even the flu shot becomes political spin this year. And if our regular voting system throws us into chaos, how can we handle an email from outer space?
The next Jane Pauley show.
Brooke Shields.
She's been in magazines, movies, and now she's on Broadway.
Couldn't you let the other girls do anything?
But what role does Brooke Shields love most?
Mom.
Model, actress, mom. Brooke Shields on the next Jane Pauley show.
Tonight at 8 on Gold 33. Very independent.
Get ready for Michael J. every day.
That's way too much coffee.
Let's spin the week together. Spin City.
The WB Las Vegas invites you to the Class Kids Foundation Fingerprint-a-thon. Tobin Dodge, Prestige Infinity, and Tobin Hummer want to help keep your kids safe. Bring your kids to any of these locations on Thursday, October 21st from 3 to 8 p.m. They'll be fingerprinted, get their picture taken. They might even meet McGruff the Crime Dog, Michigan J-Frog, or Clifford the Big Red Dog. Parents get safety tips from Child Safety Advocate Mark Class, father of Polly Class. The Class Kids Fingerprint-a-thon. See you there.
Okay, we agree. Our goal is to prevent any limits on lawyer fees.
People will never vote for that.
To get the right answer, you ask the right question.
So we hide the unlimited fees behind
limits on frivolous lawsuits.
But that's where we make our money.
We'll define the lawsuits in the fine print.
So there's really no reduction in frivolous lawsuits or our fees.
That's what fine print is for.
The fine print in questions 4 and 5 protect lawyer fees, not consumer rights. Vote no on 4 and 5.
Wow, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I want everything. Everything. Plasma, oh, TiVo, oh, look at all this stuff.
Sony Vaio.
Oh, this is so cool. What was that? Ah!
You don't have to get it all right now.
I could come back.
Introducing a better Best Buy. New services, more brands, great offers. Come see what's new at a store near you. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
The governor on a collision course with his own party and the White House. I'm Morris Jones. Here's the latest from News Central. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Republican governor of California, runs the risk of angering some members of his own party. He's throwing his support behind a measure that would fund embryonic stem cell research. The issue has been a flashpoint in this year's presidential campaign. As News Central's Jennifer Gilbert reports, Schwarzenegger's endorsement puts him at odds with the California GOP and President Bush.
He's doing it again.
I'm very much interested in stem cell research and support it 100%.
Arnold Schwarzenegger breaking from his party on an issue that John Kerry's trying to turn into an election year wedge, endorsing a California ballot initiative to earmark state funds for embryonic stem cell research. Research that goes far beyond what George W. Bush supports, studies of existing stem cell lines.
I made the decision to balance science and ethics.
The president has refused to fund research on new lines, which would involve the destruction of human embryos.
I had to make the decision, do we destroy more life? Do we continue to destroy life?
But Kerry charges that Bush is blocking progress, pandering to religious conservatives, and ignoring the potentially huge medical advances expanded stem cell research could bring.
But I think it is respecting life to reach for that cure.
I think it is respecting life to do it in an ethical way. And the president's chosen a policy that makes it impossible for our scientists to do that.
And now on this issue at least, the Democrats got a Republican strongman in his corner. Asked about the president, Schwarzenegger demurs, saying, "I'm much more in the center, and maybe the president is not as much to the center." He says he'll still vote for Bush, and he'll still help him. But the election's just 2 weeks off, just 14 days left for the superstar governor, who's no stranger to battle, to parachute into a battleground state. Jennifer Gilbert, News Central.
If Proposition 71 passes, it will provide California researchers with nearly $300 million a year for 10 years. As the countdown to Election Day continues, the momentum picks up for the candidates. Today, President Bush made his 14th visit to the state that made the difference for him 4 years ago. While in Florida, Bush focused on John Kerry's record in the Senate, accusing him of working to weaken America's defenses. Bush said, unlike Kerry, he's kept his promises to the American people.
In this campaign, my opponent will say anything he thinks will benefit him politically at the time. I will do what I've said I will do.
Today is only the second day of Florida's early voting, and already there have been some problems. Yesterday, there were minor computer glitches in at least 3 counties. Throughout the campaign, President Bush has said that John Kerry would be soft on terrorism. Now, Kerry's trying to show he's tough by pushing his political agenda in a new campaign ad.
We see it for ourselves. The mess in Iraq created by George Bush. Over 1,000 U.S. soldiers killed. Kidnappings. Americans held hostage. Bush sees nothing wrong. It's time for a fresh start. John Kerry.
Kerry spent the day swinging through Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. He'll speak in Pittsburgh tomorrow. While the presidential candidates and their families are on the trail, some say the campaigning is getting too close for comfort. In Iowa, voters can petition to have a polling place put just about anywhere. So when the daughter of Democratic vice presidential candidate John Edwards showed up at one of the centers, it caused some problems. News Central's Krista Almanzon has more on satellite voting.
Nancy Sauerman is a big John Kerry supporter, but says her petition to get this satellite voting station on campus isn't partisan.
My main motive was to get students involved and get them excited and get them, active in the process.
Students aren't stopping at voting. Apparently, some are getting too involved for the taste of local Republicans.
The behavior yesterday by the Democrats was just despicable. They had Kate Edwards speaking, asking people to go vote for her daddy. They had John Kerry signs placarding all the entrances to the voting area.
While normal polling places don't allow campaigning within 300 feet, the law is more lenient around satellite voting stations like this one at Kirkwood. Kate Edwards was speaking up the stairs, down the hall, here in the Iowa room, which Republicans don't dispute was within the letter of the law, more than 30 feet away.
Again, it's the integrity of the system. Should that happen? Normally, you would probably say we wish it wouldn't have happened.
If reelected, Representative Jeff Elgin will push to have the laws tightened or eliminate satellite voting stations altogether. But Sauerman worries if you lose these stations, you lose voters.
I think we're getting people to vote who wouldn't, perhaps because they just haven't seen the political process in action.
I'm Krista Almanzon, News Central.
So tell us tonight, do you think satellite voting stations should be eliminated? Log on to newscentral.tv and let us know what you think. We'll have the results tomorrow. The shortage of flu vaccine was a medical issue. Now it's a political issue, and both candidates have caught the bug. Kerry and Bush each have plans to solve problems with the system. Right now, flu vaccine is made by private pharmaceutical companies who sell the shots, but they apparently don't make much money from it versus the liability costs, so many have gotten out of the business. And when one lab has contamination problems, as the Chiron company did this year, nearly half the nation's supply becomes unusable.
We've got to create a market for these manufacturers. We've got to reimburse them at a fair price, and we have to give them some liability protection. This process is risky business, and the reason so many manufacturers have dropped out is that they just can't make business sense out of the enterprise.
Both presidential candidates offer plans which call for similar actions. Work with manufacturers to get a larger supply of vaccines, establish government stockpiles, and increase research for new ways to make vaccines. In the meantime, Canada to the rescue. Our friends up north might be willing to share some of their flu vaccine with the U.S. George Smitherman, Canada's health minister, says his country has an adequate supply but will only share their stockpile under the right circumstances.
If we do have any excess supply, and we'll have to measure this as we go forward and see what the uptake is on our supplies, then we're going to work with Health Canada as they design a program to try and lend some assistance to Americans.
In the meantime, a clinic in southern Ontario says it's already given hundreds of flu shots to people from the U.S. Defense testimony resumes in the Scott Peterson double murder trial. Today, Peterson's attorneys tried to shoot down one possible motive: money. News Central's Gloria Gomez has the latest from the courtroom.
The Peterson trial has been going on now for close to 5 months, and this jury has been pretty healthy until today. The judge hopes to keep the jury healthy for the final stretch.
A couple of items that I do not think.
On the second day of the defense's case, testimony in Scott Peterson's trial was interrupted by a sick juror. Alternate number 5, a grandmother in her 60s, may have the flu. Fearing it may spread to other jurors, the judge, as a precaution, sent the jury home. The delay came on the heels of more financial testimony. A defense expert testified Lacey Peterson was worth more alive than dead, since she stood to inherit hundreds of thousands of dollars when she turned 30. But one expert was quick to criticize prosecutors for ignoring the divorce factor and everything Scott stood to lose.
Even if they stayed together, Scott has no right to share in that inheritance. It's entirely her separate property.
I think when all is said and done, the financial motive is a dud. And I think one of the biggest traps for the prosecution in this case is to try to argue something that they cannot prove.
Prosecutors contend financial pressures, pending fatherhood, and a change in lifestyle drove Scott Peterson to kill his wife Lacey and their unborn son. Under cross-examination, the expert did admit his results left out other financial factors, such as the Petersons' life insurance policies and the couple's sudden urge to pawn jewelry. Overall, legal experts say the prosecution loses credibility when they wrap themselves around a theory that the jury doesn't buy.
It looks like his finances are better than mine. He could probably get a bigger loan than I could get. And I just think that 12 jurors are not going to say that's it.
The trial is expected to resume tomorrow. The defense will call several Modesto police officers to the stand to resume their rush to judgment theme. In Redwood City, Gloria Gomez, News Central.
The Peterson trial was the topic of last night's web poll. We asked, do you think Scott Peterson should take the stand? 75% of you said yes, 25% said no. Across America tonight, a deadly plane crash in Georgia. A small private plane crashed in downtown Atlanta, killing both passengers. The plane smashed into an abandoned building near the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site. The King site was not damaged. At the time of the crash, a rainstorm was moving through the city. Witnesses say the plane seemed to get caught up in the strong winds.
We were in the shop and we heard a loud noise. We ran outside and looked up, saw a plane up there and it was in a flat spin coming down. Watched it come all the way down and hit the ground right over there at the body shop.
The twin-engine plane was headed for Florida. Staying in Georgia, where the state Supreme Court is hearing arguments on a proposed gay marriage ban. Polls suggest the ban will easily pass, but opponents say the measure is flawed. It doesn't allow for voters to prohibit same-sex marriages without also denying same-sex partners access to the courts for things like property settlements. No word when the High Court will rule. And college costs are still on the rise, but not as much as last year. A study by the College Board shows tuition for in-state students at four-year public institutions has gone up 10.5% this year. That's compared to a 13% jump last year. Well, we told you about Arnold Schwarzenegger's latest political stance. Coming up, we'll tell you how his viewpoints are affecting his personal life. Plus, a list of must-have vehicles for thieves. Those stories still ahead from News Central.
And coming up on Gold 33 News at 7 o'clock tonight, local school kids joined the mayor to kick off a program celebrating Las Vegas's centennial. The story is still ahead.
Linda's hot new look.
I guess I am reasonably attractive.
You are wearing a handkerchief for a shirt.
Next, Becker.
Tonight at 9:30 on Gold 33.
Medical care shouldn't be expensive.
Now, starting at $29 a month, there's a private network of doctors and dentists in Nevada to provide you with quality health care.
These are doctors and dentists that care.
Nevada Healthcare Network brings you all these vital services and more, starting at $29 a month. Or, if all you need is a dental plan, that's only $9.95 a month.
And no one can be turned down.
Just call 804-0811 today.
You've got to take care of your health.
Introducing the Chevy Equinox. Every garage will want one. An American revolution.
Inventors, do you have an idea for a new product or invention but don't know what to do next? Are you interested in trying to submit your idea to companies for a good faith review and in applying for a patent? If so, the Invention Submission Corporation has free information to help you get started. ISC is America's largest inventor service firm with over 60 offices nationwide. Call the toll-free number now to see how to get this information. The information includes a form for confidentiality and to record and date your idea. Plus,
if you've been injured in an accident, you need an aggressive attorney fighting for you. I'm Adam Kuttner. Let my experience as a former insurance defense attorney work for you. When it comes to your case, I mean business.
Injured? Ask attorney Adam Kuttner.
Guaranteed lowest price. At Color Time, we'll beat any competitor's advertised weekly price, or we give you $100. Big screen TVs from $24.99. Washer and dryer sets from $12.99. Computers own in 12 months. Color Time makes it easy to get what you want today at the guaranteed lowest price. We beat any competitor's advertised weekly price, or we give you $100. Where? Only at Color Time.
Get what's right for you.
I like that.
At Color Time.
Guaranteed lowest price.
Stick around, my new show is coming up next, right here on Gold 33, very independent.
This week on Cheaters, Erica Layton finds out that her boyfriend loves the idea of marriage with a completely different woman.
We know that he's together with his wife tonight.
He has a choice to make. Open the door. Open the door. All this.
Cheaters. Tonight at 10:30 on Gold 33.
A Washington think tank says Nevada really needs to improve its welfare reform. The Cato Institute promotes limited government and individual liberty. The group gave Nevada a D when it comes to effectiveness of welfare reforms. The study looked at how states had performed between 1996 and 2002. In the study, Nevada got an overall grade of 43, which put our state at 37th in welfare reform overall. And the state came in next to last in its ability to reduce caseloads. Nevada welfare workers have reduced their caseloads by 24.6%, compared with a nationwide average of more than 59%. State welfare officials say they are disappointed with the results, but this year's programs show a dramatic difference. And speaking of dramatic, one of the summer's biggest blockbusters is now available to enjoy in your own home this week. DVD guy Mr. Ferris joins us now to look at how Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale make it look pretty interesting in the thriller Van Helsing, right? I understand this is a non-stop roller coaster ride of a movie, right?
Oh, yes. Van Helsing offers over 2 hours of edge-of-your-seat thrills and chills. Definitely not for the faint of heart, like me. Hugh Jackman stars as literature's famous monster hunter Van Helsing, who travels to Transylvania to help beautiful Kate Beckinsale battle Dracula. And if that's not enough, they also come up against Dracula's brides. Look at that. The Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Van Helsing is just one of the exciting movies new to DVD this week. For a complete rundown of all the latest releases, join us tonight on the WB Las Vegas News at 10. So there you go.
Okay.
And look at that. I forgot to put on my mic, so I'm holding it up to my mouth.
You could clip it on. I think you've got some time.
Hey, and look here.
That's right. Some other movies that are out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
At 10.
I can't look at him now?
Wait till 10. 10.
And he'll have his mic on at 10.
I will
hopefully.
have my mic on at 10.
One thing to remember. Okay, thank you, Guy. Well, it's a colorful kickoff to the city's centennial celebration. We'll have all the details on the City of 100 Murals project. That's coming up on Gold 33 News at 7.
Well, coming up, we're going to talk about the rain moving into the area. We could see some heavy downpours moving through by tomorrow. Details in just a bit.
Can a Kia Sorento make you feel more powerful?
more secure, give you more peace of mind? Can it make you more attractive, more successful, more popular, more witty at dinner? Maybe, maybe not. But you can definitely get the SUV you want and more cash in your pocket. Welcome to more. Right now, get $2,000 cash back plus a $2,000 competitive bonus on a Kia Sorento.
This man was just informed that Cox Communications is offering more than 260 channels for only $30 a month. That's more than 260 channels for only $30 a month. There you go. Shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture dance, man, because there's never been a deal this good. Get our best deal of the year. More than 260 channels for only $30 a month. Call 967-3585 now and shake it.
If your life has been devastated by mesothelioma, the rare form of cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, you have legal rights that could result in a cash settlement, and it won't cost you anything unless you win. With all you're going through, you shouldn't have to worry about money. Our affiliated law offices have helped hundreds of victims of mesothelioma and their families. We know how to make companies pay for their mistakes. It's a fact. Through the year 2001, U.S. companies had paid out more than $22 billion in asbestos claims and related costs. Know your rights. Get the money and the justice you deserve. And remember, you don't pay us anything until we get money for you. Get treated with respect and dignity. Get what the law entitles you to.
Call 800-505-3444. That's 800-505-3444.
Welcome back. Our cooler temperatures are the talk of town today, but just how long will they last? Meteorologist Vitas Reed is in the Weather Center tonight with the answer. Hey there, Vitas.
Hey, Rachel, it has been a little bit cooler out there. Definitely overnight temperatures a little bit like jacket weather. But, you know, Rachel, it looks like we are going to hold on to these cooler temperatures for a tad bit. Then slowly we'll warm up. But the real story is the rain we're going to be starting to see move through the area. Well, it's already moving through tonight. And then tomorrow, a chance for some heavy downpour is possible. But looking at our satellite radar composite at this time across Las Vegas, across the valley, we do have some spotty showers pushing through. A few showers about to move over I-15 and then up towards State Route 95. Up in the mountains, though, Mount Charleston, they could expect anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of snowfall late tonight as we continue to see that moisture ride over the mountains. So the upper elevations where the temperatures are colder, only in the 30s and getting down into the 20s in some spots, they can see some decent snowfall. So they do have some snow advisories up there throughout the evening hours. Now we saw the winds picking up. We got the jet stream riding over us and helping steer this low pressure coming out from the northwest, from the Pacific, wrapping in that tropical moisture. Currently, the heaviest rains are now over parts of northwest California, over towards San Francisco and parts of southwestern Oregon. Now this is going to continue to track our way, and as that moisture rides over the mountains, by tomorrow we'll get a share of that possibility of heavy downpours, and we could see some localized flooding here and there. Looking at Las Vegas temperatures, 62 degrees, humidity levels 56% and going up. Winds out of the south at 18, pressure 29.69 and falling with those spotty showers. Almanac page showing the high of 69 today, looking at a low of 60 this morning. Normally we're at 80 and 55, so you can see the fall in the temperatures of where we should be. So much cooler air definitely in place. Tonight the temperatures across the region looking in the mid-upper 50s. Downtown Las Vegas at 58 degrees, Nellis at 57, McCarran out at the airport at McCarran Airport 58. Look up in the mountains, about 28. What a big difference. Cold temperatures, and where that precip comes down, it's in the form of snow. Looking at for tomorrow, we'll see those temperatures in the low 70s, upper 60s, 69 in downtown Las Vegas, 70 in North Las Vegas, and then up there in Mount Charleston about 41 degrees. So temperatures slowly go up just a tad bit, but still cold enough to make things chilly. Now, bigger picture, satellite radar composite. Look at this big low just spinning out there, area of low pressure, wrapping in that moisture. Most of the heavy showers over parts of California. Over the valley, we do have some stray showers at this time. We will continue to see some spotty showers here and there throughout the evening. The timeline along this frontal boundary is kind of riding along this front that is going to move through, and as we see this low push in to the northwestern portion of the state, wrapping in that moisture, we'll continue to see it move through for Thursday. Then a little cooler air behind it, but then once the system gets out of here, we'll see temperatures warm up. So tonight expect windy conditions out there. Winds at about 18 miles an hour, gusting up to 25. Windy late with temperatures down to 60 with spotty showers. And then for tomorrow, looking at cloudy with chances for rain and maybe some heavy downpours in there up to 68 degrees. And then take a look at your 5-day forecast. forecast down the road here. See temperatures cool off to 62 on Thursday, but starts to turn back around on Friday as we see temperatures at 66, some sun, 68 on Saturday, and then 70 by Sunday. Now, we're not back in the realm of what our temperatures should be for this time of year, but nonetheless, we will start to dry out as we head towards the weekend. So, Rachel, you got to get that umbrella ready. Hope you have it nearby.
I actually got out of the car earlier today just to be prepared because the rain started setting in. Real quick question. I know you're looking at the forecast right there, the extended forecast. Hard to predict too far into the future, but are we going to see those temperatures bump back a little higher into the 70s at all?
Well, down the road, probably by next week, after the jet stream kind of fluctuates back to the north, they'll allow for the warmer temperatures to build up from the south. But at this time, with the jet stream dipping down over us, it allows for the Canadian air versus the southerly track to move into the region. So that's why we have that cooler air in place. So get the jackets ready and just try to stay warm. All
right, definitely feels like fall, certainly. Thanks so much, Vitas. Appreciate it. Well, many local farmers and ranchers would welcome any rain. In fact, the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture has declared the entire state of Nevada a disaster area. Farmers in some counties have suffered a 100% loss on certain crops. The designation makes them eligible for federal aid.
Come on, go here. Children, go home.
Well, that was Mayor Oscar Goodman taking part in painting of the city of Las Vegas's first public mural project, which celebrates the centennial. The City of 100 Murals is an art and education program. Local artists will create more than 100 permanent and temporary murals all across the valley. The goal? To showcase the city's culture and history.
But the most important thing is they created this program to showcase the artists and the cultural diversity of Las Vegas. And I think the big thing is we want to be able to showcase our artists and our local history and our culture on public mural spots around the entire valley.
Local school kids got to help paint part of that very first mural. The city's year-long centennial celebration officially starts on December 31st. Broadway, Hollywood, and now Las Vegas. We've got the details on the musical comedy show called Forbidden Las Vegas. That's coming up in tonight's entertainment headlines.
Join the WB Las Vegas and Gold 33 at Mix 94.1's 8th annual Bite of Las Vegas, Saturday, October 23rd at Desert Breeze Park. It's Nevada's largest food and music festival featuring live music from Bowling for Soup, Blue Man Group, Frankie Perez, and many more. Tickets are just $5 and kids 5 and under are free. Gates open at 11. Join us at Mix 94.1's Bite of Las Vegas, Saturday, October 23rd at Desert Breeze Park. Brought to you by the WB Las Vegas, Gold 33, Wells Fargo, and Mix 94.1.
I have so many people to thank. All those folks behind the scenes who work so hard to make my life a little easier. I mean, this baby saves people a whole lot of money.
Hurry in for Albertsons Buy One, Get One Free Turkey Sale. Buy one Village Market or Honeysuckle frozen young turkey and get a second same item free. It's the perfect centerpiece for your holiday dinner.
Forgot to thank the produce guy.
Albertsons, helping make your life easier.
Yo, Bam.
Maybe next week. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, with an interior that's quieter than a Jaguar S-Type 3.0. It's worth a look. The off-road legend continues on-road. Now get $1,000 October bonus cash for a total cash allowance of $2,000 on Jeep Grand Cherokee. America's hottest 4x4s are at your Jeep dealer.
Introducing an alternative to cable.
Whoa! It's called USD TV.
It has everything you'll ever need.
I love sports.
I got channels, and I got options, and I got things that I never had before.
We've got the Lifetime channel.
All you want are the best channels.
Sure, it's unbelievable.
All that and HDTV for just $19.95 a month.
Way cheaper than my regular cable.
Let your cable go.
Call 1-877-GET-USD-TV now.
There's the old election year joke, vote early and vote often. Get this. A man's been arrested in Defiance, Ohio, of all places, for registering Mary Poppins and others to vote. Chad Stanton's been arrested on a felony charge of submitting phony voter registration cards. Other names included Michael Jordan and George Foreman. Dick Tracy was another. And here's an absentee ballot that really has a way to travel. Astronaut Leroy Chow will be in outer space on Election Day, so he's voting by email. And get this, astronauts were first allowed to vote in space under a Texas law signed by then-Governor George Bush. Meantime, a Hollywood movie director described by friends as a liberal until 9/11 is switching sides. David Zucker directed Naked Gun and Airplane. Now he's just finished an anti-carry TV ad. Leslie Nielsen is not in it. And just when you thought their 15 minutes of fame were over, they're back. OJ House guest Kato Kaelin has signed on with Court TV for a show where celebrity profilers go through a house, look through the homeowner's stuff, and figure out what they're all about. Amorosa from The Apprentice is also on the show, and we're assuming O.J. Simpson's home is off limits. Catch my reports on the web at newscentral.tv and click on Get This. And Arnold Schwarzenegger told the crowd today that his speech at the Republican National Convention got him in trouble with his Democratic wife, Maria Shriver. The governor said his fiery speech in support of President Bush had an unexpected effect on his love life. Arnold admitted he didn't have sex for 14 days and joked everything has side effects. In the state of Maryland, you may get to choose where you breathe if police pull you over for drunk driving. The Maryland Court of Appeals ruled that suspected drunk drivers who take a breathalyzer test have the right to seek a second opinion. The problem is, police officers are not required to explain that to you.
Read your rights. It's a form that you're required to sign. You acknowledging that you fully understand the rights as any motor should stop in this state, and that's it. You not take the test, you are allowed to take the test, and it's your opportunity to refuse it.
One defendant in a recent drunk driving case, Timothy Weisbrod, believes police should be required to advise all suspected drunk drivers of their right to seek an independent breathalyzer test. Weisbrod plans to appeal the latest ruling. The Cadillac Escalade EXT features leather seats, a 7-speaker stereo system with satellite radio, and a global tracking system. If you think that sounds nice, you're not the only one. An insurance industry study reports the Cadillac is the favorite among car thieves. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, the Nissan Maxima is the second most likely to be stolen among newer vehicles. Rounding out the top 5 list are the Escalade SUV and the Stratus and Intrepid, both made by Dodge. Sports is next, but first Mark Hyman with tonight's commentary.
The Democratic and Republican parties unveiled their party platforms before the respective conventions. Each platform claims to represent the vision of each of the 2 candidates for president. Now, there is nothing to suggest that presidential candidates are actually bound to their party platforms. Nonetheless, a comparison of the 2 platforms yields notable policy differences that have been overlooked by most media organizations. We've examined both platforms. Today, we provide a comparison on the subject of the war in Iraq and in fighting terrorism. First, there were areas of agreement. These include building international coalitions, preventing terrorist safe harbors in sympathetic countries, cutting off terrorist financing, building democracies, and keeping WMDs out of terrorist hands. But there were also stark differences. The U.S. military toppling Saddam, while the GOP agree with the effort, the Democrats make clear their opposition, instead preferring that additional foreign political approval should have been given before the U.S. acted. Additionally, the Democrats opposed preemptive action against Saddam and instead addressed retaliatory actions to be taken if the U.S. were again attacked. Nor were the Democrats in favor of carrying out United Nations Security Council Resolution 1441, which authorized action against Saddam. The GOP platform expresses support for both. Finally, Republicans see battling terrorism as a military mission, whereas the Democratic platform supports the view it is a law enforcement responsibility. Again, while neither candidate is bound by his party platform, it was their loyalists that crafted the platforms, and neither would have likely been approved without the candidate's blessing. Next time, we'll look at the party differences in saving Social Security. And that's the point. I'm Mark Hyman. Log on newscentral.tv and tell me what you think.
Lee's Discount Liquor has been successful for 22 years. Let's see what the Lees have to say about their success. Excuse me, Mr. Lee, is it true that no one in town could come close to your selection of wine, liquor, and beer? Is it true that you have the lowest prices and friendliest staff? Is it true that your son looks forward to taking over the business? With 6 locations, there's a Lee's Discount Liquor near you. Come by today and see what you've been missing.
I'm really proud of my new barbecue bacon burger. It's named after my very own sweet and tangy barbecue sauce that covers a juicy jumbo patty and mouth-watering bacon. So to keep the recipe safe, we only speak in code.
Doorknob elephant trousers, waffle donkey.
Broccoli toothpaste volleyball.
Melon pool cue doorknob envelope vacuum.
Wingnut.
Sweet cheeks banana muffin hot tub.
Freak.
People don't have to be at the mercy of bill collectors or the creditors. Credit counselors are bill collectors for the bank. They do not work for you. I work for you. Bankruptcy puts you back in control of your financial life. Most people feel they can't afford an attorney. Our law office offers free consultations for the first visit. We'll accept payment plans. If you contact my office, you will meet with me directly. I can put you back in control of your life.
Call attorney Randolph Goldberg at 735-1500.
It's NFL time at Integrity Chrysler Jeep Dodge. That's Daimler Chrysler National Final 2004 liquidation. Here's the play. All 2004s must go to make room for our 2005. So you save a true factory invoice plus all applicable rebates and 0% financing. Or drop kick your payments till 2005. So you can tackle a Dodge Ram for $12,999. A Ram Wrangler SE for $15,999.
Integrity Chrysler Jeep and Dodge.
It's NFL time. The Daimler Chrysler National Final 2004 liquidation.
From the ring to the court, a boxer and manager are on trial in federal court here in Las Vegas for allegedly fixing fights in Denmark and here in Las Vegas. Jury selection began today in the trial of Thomas Williams and Robert Mitchell. They're facing sports bribery and conspiracy to commit sports bribery charges. The trial is expected to take about 3 weeks. Well, only a few more days until some of the best bull riders in the world will make their way to Las Vegas. The 2004 Built Ford Tough World Finals start this Friday at Mandalay Bay Event Center. The Professional Bull Riders event will kick off at the event center, but then move over to Thomas & Mack for a second weekend of action on the 28th. If you're interested in tickets, call this number. It's 866-PBR-SHOW. Jerry Rice is changing teams. Jonas has more on that story, plus Major League Baseball playoff news, and look at how these long games are taking a toll on fans. Here's tonight's national sports headlines.
The greatest wide receiver of all time has a new team. Jerry Rice traded from Oakland to Seattle today for a conditional 7th-round draft pick. Rice asked for a trade last week when he could no longer put up with his diminished role in the Oakland offense. The all-time receptions leader only has 5 catches this year for 67 yards, but now should start producing as he returns to the West Coast offense Seattle runs under Mike Holmgren.
The thing about me is that, I'm a competitor, but, I believe that you lead by example, the way you practice your approach to the game.
I did this to make our football team better. And any good lessons or role modeling that takes place, in my opinion, is secondary.
Jerry Rice might have been the best receiver to change teams today, but he's not the only one. Several other pass catchers on the move just before the NFL trading deadline passed. Disgruntled holdout Keenan McCardell finally gets his wish to trade out of Tampa. 34-year-old receiver on his way to San Diego in exchange for 3rd and 6th-round picks in next year's draft. The Cowboys and Browns also swap wideouts, Dallas sending Antonio Bryant to Cleveland for Quincy Morgan. Believe it or not, there is baseball going on that doesn't involve the Red Sox or Yankees. The NLCS also pretty dramatic, as after losing the first 2 games, the Houston Astros have stormed back to take the next 3. And they beat the Cardinals yesterday in a real thriller. The game a classic pitchers duel as Brandon Backey and Woody Williams continued to put zeros up on the board. Game still scoreless until the bottom of the 9th when Jeff Kent won it for Houston with an enormous 3-run walk-off homer. Now momentum and the series lead is with Houston.
Even though we might have a 1-game lead in this series, it means nothing as far as we're concerned. Tomorrow's still the most important game we're ever going to play.
If you're unable to win these next 2 games, how much would that take away from the accomplishments of a 105-win season?
Well, that's a question that doesn't have to be answered now, and I hope doesn't have to be answered later either.
I'm sure they'd rather face me than Roger. I mean, I'd rather face me than Roger. You know, that they went with me is it's amazing to me. You know, it's a feeling that I never had before.
For Red Sox fans, these long games against the Yankees are wearing them out. Not just because they're tense games, but because they end so late, cutting into sleepy time. News Central's Doug Ray has the story.
Ortiz fights it off.
There's little rest for a weary Red Sox nation, still staggering from last night's 5-hour and 49-minute extra inning marathon, the longest game in playoff history.
It was a late night, but it was a great night in the end, so I'm happy.
A steady diet of caffeine may just be the order of the day.
Large
to help shake off Game 5 and gear up for what could be another long night.
So I had to drink lattes at work just to stay up and work.
I'm here to get my medium cup of coffee to try to make it through the day. And in fact, my 9-year-old almost didn't make it to school this morning. He's so tired. I think there's a lot of fourth graders with dark circles under their eyes.
Game 5 ended well past the bedtime of these young fans who are hoping to catch at least some of Game 6. Who's going to win tonight? Some diehard fans are actually making the trip to New York.
As you can see, believe in Boston. Heading down there right now, and hopefully I'll be there for Game 7, because we'll be bringing home the a World Series appearance.
And speaking of the World Series, how do these look? Seats for all 4 World Series games at Fenway Park. There's no hiding which team Dan McCarthy is rooting for, but from a business standpoint, he admits around here, the green lies with the Red Sox.
Lord knows Red Sox fans, you know, you got to feel bad for them. I sit back every year and I wonder how they do it, to be honest with you. It's just, after that loss the other night, I would have never thought they'd ever win another game through this, but, you know, you got to tip your hat to them.
But whether or not this will really be the year remains to be seen.
Tonight's game going much quicker. Curt Schilling, one of the gutsiest performances in playoff history on that bad ankle. He is handling the Yanks. Red Sox lead 4-1 in the 8th. If they win, the series is tied. The Olympics might have ended 2 months ago, but Paul Hamm still has to wait until tomorrow to find out if he can keep his gold medal. Hamm, you'll remember, won the all-around in the gymnastics, but South Korea's Yang Tae-young wants the Court of Arbitration for Sport to give him the gold. He finished 3rd after there was a scoring error. Yang was wrongly docked a 10th of a point for level of difficulty on the parallel bars. That's it for sports. More news after the break.
How to keep it hot.
Hey!
How to spice up your love life.
Your wife had an affair with another woman?
Can you say that any louder? I think there's one guy outside who can't hear you.
No, I heard him.
Next, Becker.
I guess I am reasonably attractive.
And you are wearing a handkerchief for a shirt.
Tonight at 9:30 on Gold 33.
Is your business losing productivity because you need more space? Call General Steel Corporation and save half the cost and about half the time compared to traditional construction. General Steel will deliver a pre-engineered steel building designed for your needs and engineered for your area.
And for our brothers and sisters not able to join us inside our church today, I have good news. We've called the General.
General Steel is one of the best-known brand names of commercial-grade pre-engineered steel buildings. Whether you need to expand your church, retail, office, or manufacturing space, the General has an attractive solution to meet your needs. Save on maintenance and insurance cost.
And right now, you can get a 60 by 120-foot building for under $45,000 or a 100 by 150 for under $100,000. If you need space, you need to talk to the General.
Call now, 800-404-7582.
Attention all Advo, RSVP, and Valpak advertisers. There is an alternative. Reach your potential customer base more effectively and efficiently with the Power Pack Savings Guide. The WB Las Vegas and Gold 33 empower you to use television, direct mail, and the internet to bring you powerful savings, powerful value, and powerful results. The Power Pack Savings Guide is the first of its kind in Las Vegas. Call 952-4629 right now to get involved in this multifaceted program. That's 952-4629.
The Burnley Dental Group now offers bleaching for 25% off. This popular cosmetic procedure lightens the shade of your teeth and is your answer to beautiful white teeth. Make your appointment today at the Burnley Dental Group.
Trouble getting great HD programming into your HD TV? Well, Voom delivers. Boom, the only way to pump over 35 channels of high-definition movies, sports, and music into your home. Over 120 channels of great entertainment. And if you call now, you'll save $150 on standard installation. That's just $49, and you're hooked up. Call now to get what you love. Premium HD channels, over 20 Boom exclusive HD channels, as well as your favorite cable networks. Boom has the most HD anywhere, and for a limited time, it's $150 off standard installation. Just $49 to plug into the TV experience you've been waiting for. Boom HD TV delivered.
A sin-filled new show is set to premiere in Las Vegas, and it's a showdown at the Suncoast tonight as two bands battle it out. Guys, here now with the details.
There's a lot of music and musical news tonight, starting with a show that's set to spoof some of our city's biggest entertainers. An all-new musical comedy review called Forbidden Vegas will make its world premiere this January. The production parodies famous Las Vegas headliners from Celine Dion to Blue Man Group to Wayne Newton and Cirque du Soleil. It will premiere at the Westin Theater at the Westin Hotel and Spa. The show will offer early previews at a special rate starting Friday, November 19th. It's been a summer-long competition that's all come down to this. The Battle of the Bands Championship takes place tonight at the Suncoast with $250,000 at stake. The final two bands take to the stage at 9 p.m. tonight. Aside from the cash prize, the winning band will get a one-year contract with Coast Casinos. And there'll be music and a little fairy dust tonight. You wrote that, Rachel, didn't you? You put that in there, so I'd have to say it. Fairy dust. As Peter Pan flies into the Cashman Theater tonight, two-time Olympian Kathy Rigby plays the lead on her farewell tour of the popular show. Peter Pan runs through October 24th as part of the Las Vegas Broadway series.
And then she's done. It's her farewell tour.
It's
so
over.
Check it out.
No more fairy dust for Kathy.
Or flying around, tethered to a wire.
Nope, no more.
It's going to be fun. Check it out if you can. We'll get a final check of our forecast tonight with meteorologist Vetus Reed.
Where's a final look at that 5-day forecast? Looks like tomorrow we could see some rain across the area. It could get heavy at times. Possibility in low-lying areas of a little bit of flooding. Temperature 68 degrees. Looking at 62 degrees for Thursday. Slightly cooler with a chance for spotty showers after the front pushes through. But then by Friday and Saturday and Sunday, temperatures clear back up with a little more sunshine with temperatures back in the 70s by Sunday. Back to you.
Thanks, Vetus. Gas prices are on the rise once again.
They sure are, and they show no signs of stopping. Prices have gone up more than a quarter in just the last month. So with so many gas stations in the valley, it can be hard to find the lowest prices. But coming up tonight on the WB News at 10, we'll show you exactly where to go to find the cheapest gas in town. So watch, because I know I will. I want to find out where you can get a deal, because it just keeps moving up, and it's expensive to fill up.
When you find out, will you tell me?
I'll share it with you, yes,
okay.
And everyone else too.
All right.
Well, that's going to do it tonight for the news at 7 o'clock.
Be sure to watch the WB News at 10. Later tonight, the Jane Pauley Show is up next. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Strength, intelligence, talent, and the will to win. This is Mountain West football. Who will emerge the conference champion? Saturday at 3 p.m., catch the Rebels as they go up against Utah on Gold 33 Cox Cable 6.
Don't buy another SUV before you check out the Hyundai Santa Fe. Inside, tons of space and lots of standard features, all for thousands of dollars less than a Toyota when comparably equipped. And outside, great looks powered by an available 3.5-liter V6 with reliability backed by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. The Hyundai Santa Fe, when comparably equipped, thousands of dollars less than a Toyota. With Hyundai, you win. Come in now for great deals on all 2004 Hyundais.
Inventors, do you have an idea for a new product or invention but don't know what to do next? Are you interested in trying to submit your idea to companies for a good faith review and in applying for a patent? If so, the Invention Submission Corporation has free information to help you get started. ISC is America's largest inventor service firm with over 60 offices nationwide. Call the toll-free number now to see how to get this information. The information includes a form for confidentiality and to record and date your idea, plus materials to explain how to submit your idea to companies through ISC's databank and how to apply for a patent. The Invention Submission Corporation even offers a virtual invention prototype service to present your idea to industry. Even if you only have an idea for improving an existing product, you'll want to call now for ISC's information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-351-6100.
You're watching Gold 33 Cox Cable 6.
Home of Las Vegas's #1 news at 7.